Today, we're taking a really close look at something pretty core to how we all live our lives, our daily routines. You know, from the moment you wake up until you finally switch off at night, all those little things we do again and again.
Yeah, those repeated actions.
Exactly. They add up. They actually weave together and, well, they really shape our overall happiness, our sense of fulfillment even.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it? How even tiny little intentional tweaks can have such a big impact on your whole day.
Totally. And that's really our mission here today, right? We want to explore some practical steps you can actually build into your routine, steps that can genuinely lead to a happier, more fulfilling life.
Right. We've sort of sifted through quite a bit of stuff, experiences, some research to pull out what feel like the key insights.
Okay, so we're going to journey through the day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Really focus on what makes a difference.
Yeah, like what actually works.
We'll talk about morning rituals that can kind of set you up right, ways to tackle that, that afternoon energy dip everyone gets.
Oh, yeah, the slump.
The slump, and evening habits to help shift gears from work, and then night routines to really help you get, proper restorative sleep.
And we'll make it concrete. We've got specific examples like, what about just a quick stretch when you wake up?
Yeah.
Or a calming ritual before bed?
Yeah, or strategies for that afternoon. Mindful eating, maybe. How to actually prep for a good night's sleep.
Exactly. Lots of practical stuff.
Okay, let's dive right into the morning then. Because, this part of the day really does set the tone, doesn't it?
It often does, yeah.
For me, the alarm goes off around 6 a.m. And the very first thing I try to do, emphasis on try before I even get out of bed, is just a few gentle stretches. Right there.
Still under the covers.
Yeah, because the urge to grab the phone is immediate. So resisting that, even for a minute or two, it just feels calmer, a more peaceful start.
That makes a lot of sense. That first hit of the screen can just flood your brain, right? Information, notifications.
Right.
So choosing movement instead, it lets your brain kind of wake up more slowly, maybe avoids that big cortisol spike you get from the digital onslaught. It's like priming yourself differently.
Yeah, priming, that's a good word. It feels more deliberate, less reactive. Okay, so after the stretches, I head to the kitchen. Full glass of water, room temperature, with a squeeze of lemon.
Ah, the classic lemon water.
It sounds so basic, but I swear it feels like it kickstarts my system.
Yeah.
And obviously gets the hydration going after, sleeping all night.
Well, physiologically, that tracks. Even being a little dehydrated can mess with your energy, your focus. So getting fluids in, first thing, smart move. And the lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some people, it helps digestion wake up too.
Okay, good. Then, while the coffee's brewing, and honestly, just the smell of coffee brewing is a mood booster for me.
Oh, absolutely. The ritual of it.
Totally. While that's happening, I do about 10 minutes of light yoga stretches. Nothing crazy, just enough to work out the stiffness, get the blood flowing. And I always feel more energized after, maybe even a bit more optimistic about the day.
There's definitely a link there. Gentle movement, releasing tension. It often lowers mental stress, too.
Yeah.
And linking it to something you enjoy, like that coffee. That's a nice little positive loop for your morning.
Yeah, it works for me. Then breakfast, usually oatmeal. I top it with whatever fruit and nuts are around, maybe a bit of honey.
Nice and balanced.
It's quick, it's healthy enough, I think, and it feels kind of comforting. And fueling up properly definitely seems to help my energy last longer through the morning.
For sure.
Yeah.
Getting those complex carbs, some healthy fats, protein, it keeps your blood sugar steady, avoids that mid-morning crash. Plus, the different textures and tastes you mentioned makes it more enjoyable, so you're more likely to stick with it.
Right. Okay, last step before I really start the day. Shower. And here's the bit that might make people cringe.
Uh-oh. What is it?
I finish with 30 seconds of cold water.
Whoa. Okay. Brave.
I know, it sounds awful.
Oh.
But honestly, nothing snaps you awake quite like it. It really works.
Actually, yeah, that cold blast triggers your body's go system, the sympathetic nervous system. Heart rate picks up, you feel alert. It's intense, maybe not for everyone, but that invigorating effect is real. Some studies even suggest it might be good for circulation, maybe even mood long term.
See, maybe I'm onto something. Okay, I'm curious now. What about your morning? What does that look like?
Well, I'm usually up around 6.15, and yeah, same as you. Phone stays put. First thing is bathroom. Splash cold water on my face, brush teeth. That cold water is just instant refresh.
Oh, yeah, definitely wakes you up. That simple act, it does signal day start.
Exactly. After that, I usually sit for about 10 minutes. Quick mindfulness meditation, Got a comfy cushion, close my eyes, just focus on my breath.
Okay.
Mind wanders, gently bring it back. Just trying to find a bit of stillness, set a positive intention for the day.
That sounds really grounding, like centering yourself before everything else kicks in.
It can be super helpful, managing stress, improving focus later on. Even just short bursts of that stillness kind of train your brain. Then breakfast, usually scrambled eggs or maybe avocado toast, side of fruit.
Sounds good.
And while I eat, I often put on some soft music, maybe instrumental or like an uplifting podcast, but nothing too heavy, just something positive in the background.
I like that. Pairing food with something pleasant but not like mentally demanding. Gentle ease into the day's sounds.
Then warm shower, get ready. And the very last thing I do before I really start work is a quick look at my plan for the day, jot down the main tasks, goals in my planner.
Ah, the planning step.
Yeah, it just helps me feel organized, focused. Gives me a clear direction instead of feeling, scattered.
That makes total sense. Having that roadmap, even if it's flexible, probably cuts down on feeling overwhelmed right at the start.
Okay, so morning's covered. Now, the afternoon, the challenge zone for many.
Oh, yeah. That post-lunch energy dip, it's real. How do you keep the momentum going?
It can be tough, absolutely.
Yeah.
But a few things help. One big one, a short break pretty soon after eating, like a quick walk around the block. Get some fresh air.
Yeah. Does that really work?
It honestly does wonders. Just moving your body, changing the scenery, it re-energizes you. Mentally, too.
I can see that. It's tempting to just stay glued to the chair, especially if you're busy, but maybe that break is more productive in the long run.
Often is. And of course, what you eat for lunch matters a lot. I try for something balanced. Salad with protein, maybe a simple sandwich on whole grain. You want to avoid that huge carb load that leads to
the crash. Yeah, makes sense. A heavy lunch definitely sets you up for that afternoon drowsiness.
Right. So once I'm back at my desk, I often use the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of that?
Vaguely. Remind me.
It's basically working in focus bursts, like 25 minutes totally focused, then a strict 5-minute break. Get up, stretch, grab water, look away from the screen.
Okay. Timed intervals.
Exactly. It helps you stay concentrated without just grinding yourself down. Prevents that mental fatigue, that burnout feeling.
That actually sounds pretty smart, breaking it up like that. Maintaining focus, but with built-in recovery.
And I also schedule really short breaks, too, like micro breaks. Maybe just a reminder on my phone to take 60 seconds for deep breathing. Or mindfully sip some tea.
Just little pauses.
Tiny pauses, yeah. Helps reset your focus, stops things from feeling overwhelming.
Those little resets sound like they could really prevent hitting that wall later in the afternoon.
So they can make a surprising difference. And one last thing. I try to quickly write down my top 3 priorities for the afternoon. Just 3.
Okay. Why 3?
It forces clarity. Helps me stay laser focused on what's actually critical. Stops me getting pulled into less important stuff or emails.
That's a great tip. Knowing exactly what matters most for those few hours helps you stay on track, feel like you actually did something by the end of the day. And I have to agree, that afternoon tea or coffee around 3 p.m., sometimes you just need that little kick.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
So, all right, we made it through the afternoon. Now, the crucial transition, shifting out of work mode into evening mode. How do we do that gracefully?
Yeah, that switch is so important for actually relaxing.
It really is. Vital for well-being. For me, when the workday's officially over, I take maybe 5 minutes, quick review, what got done, what's left over.
Okay.
Anything left over, I jot it down, move it to tomorrow's list. Consciously, that act of closing the mental tabs, it helps me disengage.
Yes. I find if I don't do that, the work thoughts just keep buzzing around. Yeah. It makes it way harder to actually chill out later.
Totally.
Yeah.
Then I try to do something physical, just briefly, to mark the shift, maybe a short walk, like you said, or just some gentle stretching. It signals to my body and brain. Different mode now.
That's a really healthy boundary. Physical signal for a mental shift. I like that. For me, dinner's usually next. Sometimes I cook, sometimes it's takeout, whatever. But the key thing is trying to be present.
Mindful eating.
Yeah, or trying to be. No phone scrolling, no watching intense TV right then. Just enjoy the food. Be in the moment. It's a chance to actually relax.
That's such a good practice. It really lets you unwind and appreciate things without constant distraction. I find sometimes trying a new, simple recipe can be nice too. Like a little creative project, low stakes, gives a bit of satisfaction.
Oh, I like that. Dinner as a mini project. And I totally agree on tidying up after. Somehow a clean kitchen just feels more peaceful, doesn't it?
It really does. Creates a sense of calm. Then, for the rest of the evening, I usually read a real book, or maybe watch a show, but something pretty light.
Yes, similar for me. After dinner, maybe call a friend or listen to a podcast. But like you said, something upbeat, not too heavy. Connect or just unwind with something easy.
Exactly. It's about de-stressing, engaging with things that feel restorative, not draining.
Perfect. Okay, so we've walked through the day. Now the final crucial piece, prepping for rest, the night routine. This is all about setting the stage for a calm end so you can actually sleep well and wake up refreshed.
It's so important. For me, the real wind down starts around 8 p.m., maybe 8:30. First step, dimming the lights, putting away most of the electronics.
Signaling the brain.
Exactly. Less bright light helps your body start producing melatonin, gets you ready for sleep. I make a point of turning off my laptop completely. And the phone, ideally, it goes in another room.
Wow, phone in another room. That's next level discipline. It's so easy to just scroll.
It takes practice, but it removes the temptation. Late night scrolling is just terrible for sleep quality.
No argument there.
So electronics away. Then maybe a warm shower or just washing my face, changing into comfy pajamas. That little ritual, feeling clean and relaxed, it signals bedtime's close.
Totally with you. Slipping into comfy clothes after washing up, it just feels right for winding down.
Then I often read for a bit. Again, physical book, not a screen. Or sometimes I'll just jot down a few thoughts about the day, kind of processing things before trying to sleep.
That sounds like a good way to clear your head. Get the mental chatter out.
Yeah. And sometimes, related to that, I'll make a quick gratitude list, like 3 things I appreciated. Could be small, tasty dinner, finishing a task, whatever.
Oh, I love that. Focusing on the positive right before bed.
It really shifts your mindset. Ends the day on a good note. Then final steps. Set the alarm for morning. Maybe lay out clothes or pack my bag if I need to.
Smart. Getting those little morning tasks done the night before reduces stress.
Exactly. And sometimes if something's really on my mind, like a big task for tomorrow, I'll quickly write it down on a to-do list. Just get it out of my head on paper. Helps me relax, not worry I'll forget.
That's a brilliant tip. Externalize the worry. So yeah, the whole point of the night routine is just guiding yourself towards calm.
Yeah.
So you wake up actually feeling restored, ready for the next day.
Precisely. And, well, that kind of brings us full circle, doesn't it? From those first morning moments to setting up for sleep. We really hope digging into these different parts of the day has sparked some ideas for you. Practical things you might try.
Absolutely. We've looked at mornings for starting with intention, afternoons for keeping energy up, evenings for unwinding, and nights for, well, truly resting.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with. What if you picked just one thing? Or maybe 2 small changes you could realistically try in your own routine?
Yeah.
Just observe. See how it feels. How does it affect your day, your mood, your overall sense of well-being? Maybe it's trying that mindfulness for a few minutes or the Pomodoro thing, or just, putting the phone away an hour earlier.
Right.
There's lots more to explore too, like gratitude journaling in more depth or different time management tricks. The potential is huge.
It really is, because even those small steps, done consistently, they really do add up. They can lead to, well, greater happiness and a more fulfilling life. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.